Today's video is inspired from my book, A Different Approach to Hairbraiding. You may purchase this and my other books at Amazon.com. Turn to page 445 in the book, A Different Approach to Hairbraiding. This is the halo braid. Today we will be doing a basic halo braid and then we'll also do an accented halo braid. For more information on halos, visit my website www.findingbraids.com. I look forward to making more videos for this book. As you can see, the halo is a crown which incorporates a beautiful starburst. The diagram shows a wagon wheel or pie chart to help you envision the gathering pattern you will make while braiding. Because the halo makes a complete circle, it does not matter where you start your braid. You may begin at any arrow junction. Whether you start at the back, bottom, top, or either side, you will be taking more gathers than arrows shown. You may take 2 or 3 gathers per section shown on the pie chart. Now that you've seen the pattern on a diagram, let's take a closer look at it on a model. I ask that you listen to this portion of the video, but not follow along on your own model yet. I'm merely giving instructions for the principles of hair dispersion. What I am showing is the same pie chart we saw in the drawing. I'm making 8 pie pieces. The reason for this demonstration is to help you realize that the individual hairs must remain in their sectors while you braid and gather. If you accidentally remove hair from a section you are not working in, your halo will probably not look like a starburst. This particular braid halo is an exact and precise braiding pattern. Even though I am pre-sectioning the hair out right now to help demonstrate this, I do not actually recommend pre-sectioning out the hair before braiding. I'm only showing this as a demonstration to help insist that it does matter where the hair comes from while you braid and gather. The hairs in each pie piece belong in their pie piece. To take any hair from a section you are not working in removes necessary hair from a section that will be worked in soon, thus robbing you of required material for that section when you get to it. This clip is meant to lodge in your memory for you to ponder as you braid the halo later. When you are ready, you will take the hair from one of these pie pieces, and it doesn't matter which one. You'll start braiding. You'll braid in a full circle around your model's head, gathering hair from each pie piece as you get to it and only as you get to it. It is important that you not braid hair from the wrong section into the braid. Please take note of the shape of each section. The triangles point sharply in the center, down to a single hair. The outside of each section is a couple inches wide, incorporating hundreds of hair. As you gather, your gathers will be triangle in shape with the points adding in only a single hair. Again, please remember that the inside point of each gather will only contain a single hair. Now we'll do an actual braid. So you just want to part the hair down the center. Tie off the side that you're not working with yet. Find the single hair that's going to be at the center point, and then braid around that single hair. I like to use aloe vera gel. I don't use a lot of aloe vera gel. Before I parted her hair, I did not put any gel in it. I did not put any water in it. I just parted down the center her clean, dry hair. Sectioned off one side, and I'm going to work on her left side. I took my gather, or my first section, which went from the center point down to the nape of the neck, because when I do just a basic, I like to start at the bottom of the neck. But I do start in different places depending on whether I do cascade, accents or cascade and accents. And depending on what type of those I do, can make a big difference where you start your braid. Sometimes I start on the left side, sometimes I start on the right side. As you can see, I'm moving the model quite a bit. It isn't necessary, but it certainly makes it easier. If the model moves, then you don't have to bend your back, break your back trying to get the braid in. Because the braid does a full circle around her entire head, it helps if you move her in all the directions that keep where you're braiding facing towards you. Which means, yes, she'll have to bend and move quite a bit, but that's okay, she's just getting one braid. And if you're doing 2 or 3 braids that day, it's definitely better that your models are the ones moving. When you get to the other side, take out the clip or band that's holding that hair. You'll notice a little demarcation line on the hair. If I was doing her hair for a wedding, I probably would not have clipped it off. I would have just parted it and worked my way around, even though the hair would have been in my way. I've practiced enough that I can achieve the starburst even when there's hair everywhere in the way, and I still know the pattern well enough. So if it's not a wedding day, it's okay if there's a demarcation line. It usually goes away with a little bit of gel while you braid. But if you're going for absolute perfection, you don't want to clip it, because any kind of clip does leave a mark. You'll notice that we're at the end. There's one single gather left. That gather is essential to cover the part. There's no part in this braid, there's just a starburst pattern. So that last gather needs to flap over the part, needs to close the part so that you don't see that line. And depending on how you end the braid after that, you'll either then lose that flap and you'll get that line back, or you'll keep that starburst pattern. And there are several ways that you can end this. You can ponytail it and leave the ponytail loose. You can tie it into a knot and have part of the ponytail coming out into accents. You can fluff it, the bun. You can fold it in half and pin it. You can pin the whole tail around. You can just make a tight contained bun. There's endless options and opportunities on how to end a braid like this. But if you're doing something simple, try a little harder than I did to get that flap to stay over the part, and then you'll have the perfect starburst. And that usually just means lifting the bun a little and pushing the flap over a little to the left. Next we're going to do an accent halo. Her hair is still pre-sectioned from the previous demonstration. I don't actually recommend braiding the hair with the hair pre-sectioned because it's a lot of work first to pre-section it, and then it's a lot of work to unsection it as you're braiding. But since she's already done this way, hopefully it helps show you how to make this braid when the hair isn't in your way. Hopefully it helps give a good visual. So even though it's going really fast, hopefully you can see that from under the braid I'm pulling out pencil-sized portions of hair and setting them to the right side of her head on a clip. These are all my accent pieces. Those are being left out of the braid, or they're being portioned out while I'm braiding, so that when I'm done with the starburst pattern, when I'm done with the halo, I have pieces of hair that I can work with to create accents. If a person's hair is really short, just short enough to fit into the halo, and you want accents, you can always add in fake hair. Go to the Sally's Beauty Supply or any other beauty supply store, get fake hair, rubber band the end, put a bobby pin through it, stick that bobby pinned hair into the flaps of the starburst on the outside or anywhere that you want to create those accents. You don't actually need to use the person's hair. I like to, because it makes the people feel like their hair is really special, that their hair can do amazing things. But if their hair is short, you can always add those extensions in. So here's the Starburst pattern. It looks the same as the basic, except the bottom half is left out. If I just left the bottom half plain like that, this would be a Starburst cascade with the halo pattern and hair left out beneath to cascade down. But I'm not going to do cascade. I'm going to do accents. So I'm creating 2-strand knot accents. I'm tying knots, very, very loose knots, in her hair, putting a dental rubber band at the very end, and I'm creating what people like to call chain links. And you can use any accent here. You can use mini 3-strands, mini ropes, mini 4s. You can pin them up, tuck them up, loop them, bunch them together, or you can just leave them hanging down. And they don't have to be across the back like that. They can be across the sides, they can be all the way around. And this was the Halo braid.